Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
The UFC 300, right? It's like, do you guys pay attention to that? You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're a coach, you run a gym, Alex, and Tariq, you're a fighter. You also you running a gym, you know what I mean? And you probably got other things going on with your life as well. You know what I mean? Are you paying attention to UFC 300? Is it a big deal for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's, you know, there's 100, 200, 300. I mean, I'm definitely curious who they're going to have on the card. Who did they announce already? I can't even remember.
Well, Weili.
Yeah, Weili's fighting.
Yeah.
I think they just announced.
Dustin
Poirier for the Bad Mother BMF belt, right?
Yeah.
No. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway.
Oh yeah, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway.
Yeah. But that's like that's the best fight on the card. So think about it. That's the best fight for UFC 300 is Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. The next one is Weili versus Jan. And then the next one is like Yuri versus Rakic, right?
Yeah.
That's the lineup so far for pay-per-view.
There's no main event.
No way. They haven't.
Okay.
They got to pull.
That's a good reaction because you're like, what?
They got to pull something out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so now what do they need to pull out? Because like
you need a superstar.
They need superstars.
Yeah.
Right?
You need Izzy. You need Izzy.
Probably
you need Conor.
Conor.
Maybe Izzy versus Dricus. Obviously they were.
I don't think they'll put it for the belt. Yeah.
You don't think so?
It's such a good story. Why would they not put it on there?
Yeah,
the African champ thing. Like,
I don't know what's going on with Conor and Michael.
That's the thing, also, right?
Yeah.
Like, so there's all these rumors flying around, right? Because Dana White has come out and he's like, we're gonna make a big announcement. It's gonna blow your fucking mind and all that bullshit. Like he always
Brock
says.
Lesnar.
Yeah, like Brock is like what, 50 years old now,
Brock
right?
Lesnar versus Mark Hunt. They're both on steroids now. Fuck, that'd be funny. What if Mark Hunt was just like, he was like, fuck it. He was like, you know what? If I can't beat him, fucking join him, you know? And then you just get like fucking massive like Mark fucking Hunt versus
Imagine Mark Hunt on steroids.
Versus,
that would just be
a
sight to see.
He's lunatic without steroids.
Yeah, but I don't know him. I don't know if him and Dana see eye to eye anymore. But it's got to be something big, right? Like,
but I would beat Lesnar.
That would blow my mind. To be honest with you, if they did announce Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt 2 on steroids, I'd be like, what the hell?
That would be fun. I will watch this.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
that would sell the pay-per-view.
Yes.
It's like, all right, Mark, listen.
I'll pay $100 to watch that for sure.
We'll pay you off.
Who is?
We'll give you a big purse.
Remember, UFC 200 was.
It was Brock
Lesnar and Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier versus Anderson Silva. Remember that? He stepped in.
Yeah.
And people got mad at DC for like wrestling him, but it was like, oh, come on. He stepped in short notice. Who was the fight supposed to be?
John Jones.
Was it really? Yeah, that's
got popped. Yeah.
Fucking John Jones.
So like that's the big argument.
Is he on the card?
Who? John Jones?
Yeah.
No, he's injured.
He just did the shoulder surgery.
There's a whole nother shit
That's a big
storm going on right now with heavyweight with Stipe and John Jones
and
not fighting.
Aspinall.
And Aspinall wants to fight.
He's like,
but the other guys don't want to fight him because he's not a big name. You know what I mean? They're like Stipe's considered like the greatest heavyweight.
They still want to make that fight.
Right?
They want to make that fight. Stipe versus John.
They do, but John Jones just had surgery.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be gone.
And
like
Stipe said he doesn't want to fight anyone but John Jones. He want to make money. I think this is his last fight.
Yeah.
Like he does this fight and then that's
for sure. He wouldn't have to. He beat the heavyweight goat, and then what else you got to do?
And that's why John Jones wants to fight Stipe, because if he beats Stipe, he beat the heavyweight goat.
For sure. And then there's nothing else you got to do.
And then that's his last fight.
He doesn't even have to do anything else.
No, he don't. That would put him so far ahead of everybody.
Yeah, but he would. I reckon. Does anyone not think John Jones would beat Stipe?
I think he does.
Yeah, for sure. Right? Yeah, for sure.
Stipe didn't look good in his last fight.
And he looked out of it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he looked stiff
and chinny. Like, I don't think like he's old now, so like his chin won't get.
Yo, everybody's chinny with President Ngannou, right?
Right? No? Yeah.
I don't know if it's called chinny. It's just called that guy can fucking hit.
Yeah.
I love fucking Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
But you got to have a superstar in there.
Yeah, you got to I think you need they're missing two big blockbuster fights. That's what I think they're missing.
And Volko, he's fighting in February, so there's no way he's on there.
No, he's not.
What is it?
Like in the beginning of the year, they said they were running out of main events. So
yeah.
Like
I think who's the biggest superstar in the UFC today?
Izzy is the biggest superstar.
Yeah.
Who's the top
they
three?
get
Who's the
Izzy?
top three? Who's the top five?
Izzy,
Top five.
Conor, Izzy, Conor, Dustin, Nick Diaz.
Yeah. Well, they don't fight in the UFC anymore. So, yeah, it's Conor. The list is very short of like.
Yeah, but
superstars.
of those superstars, who's like
available?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, Izzy's available because he hasn't fought in a while, but Dricus has to be ready.
If if it wasn't up to UFC 100, like the story could be different. You could do Strickland versus you could do Strickland versus Izzy, #1 contender, go back. But I think just because of the story, you could actually put that.
But
Izzy versus
need
Dricus.
titles, man.
That's what I'm saying. You could put Izzy versus Dricus on 300 because there's a story.
But then there's these rumors, right, of like Conor, because Conor like tweeted out like UFC 300, whatever. Yeah. Conor's in this level of like he can just write whatever on social media and people are gonna believe that shit, right?
Yes.
So,
but he's running out of time where that people care about it.
Well, now there's no they have a new drug testing company now. So USADA's out.
So
the UFC UFC can control because UFC can what is it? Interpretate the results. They could like they're governing themselves. Basically, that's kind of like what's
like
happening.
An Asian organization. Or
so exactly right. So you're your own commission.
If we go back in time in John Jones' case, and what is it?
Picogram.
They will let that slide.
They're changing that. They're changing that.
The pulsing picogram. Remember
that? The threshold is.
Should we even say there was a lot of like stuff with John Jones, different things over the years. Yeah. Some were true, some were not true. So even stuff like
under the cage.
Yeah, of course, there's that. But I mean, like all the stuff. But yeah, some of it he probably didn't need coming his way, like the picogram thing.
Yeah,
he just got the blame for it.
Well, So John Jones, he's just
who's the biggest stars then?
John Jones, he can't fight.
Amanda retired.
Yeah,
and
Valentina, not the champ anymore.
You know what they're talking about? This is a rumor out right now. Is that they're gonna create a new division, the 165-pound division, and then they're gonna change 170 to 175. So then they'll have like a super lightweight division and a welterweight division at 175 pounds.
Well, yeah, because 155 to 170 to 185
and Conor
is crazy.
and Chandler fights for the 165-pound belt. That makes sense, right? That would be a shock.
The inaugural belt.
That makes sense to create more divisions because, like in MMA, the difference between weight classes is so big that they can introduce. There's so much. I am an in-betweener. I'm a small middleweight.
Yeah.
So like, I can be 175 or 180 easy.
But you ain't no welterweight anymore.
No, I can't. I will die. Like this 5 pounds going to 170 I can't do it. I can't make
impossible.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the fans don't realize how hard it is.
Was it
those last couple of pounds? Right?
Was it
last 2 pounds?
Tajikistan when it was 170 or no?
Oh my God!
Was that no?
Yeah. So me and him went to Tajikistan to do.
Yeah, that's a real country. He's not making it up.
It's a real country. I don't know why I have this stupid idea. It was stupid idea to fight at 170, and I was forcing it, and I nearly died.
I never saw someone after he like cut a bunch of weight, but he was still like a while off. He was like bone dry, like in the sauna for like 20 minutes. I'm like, yo, we got to stop this because you're not even sweating. It was crazy.
All right. So before you guys go further on the story, Tariq, if you actually like move down here, you should start your own podcast of you talking about your life and what you've been through, and bring the people that like went with you, like Alex,
100%
on the show, and just talk about like.
You should also start a sauna, but a podcast too. I was gonna say you should start a sauna, but definitely a podcast.
Yeah, man. This like me and this guy went through so much. Like in my case, all the shit I went through and how we got out of it. Oh my God. Crazy.
Dude, I think you should keep those stories, like not talk about them, and just keep them there and like do your own. Dude, I would pump that shit. You have the craziest stories. Like remember when you went to jail in Thailand for the the terrorist list or some shit? Like
this was the week before the fight. This is why.
That was the week of this.
Okay. He was cutting weight.
I was cutting weight in the cell. Oh,
hold on. By the way, he's not a terrorist. We just went.
We're on the list. We're on the list.
Just the boys made the list.
They made a mistake, a big mistake, right? But
Tariq, we'll call it Tariq TV.
Oh, Tariq has. Dude, I'm telling you, like one person. I don't really tell people to do podcasts, but man, one person that should make one.
They talk about tough times for MMA fighters,
Yeah.
but like the tough times I have to face, it's not about being broke. It's not about being bullied. It's not about being broke. It's everything else on the list. Just hit me. Just because
Things that you
where I
would
come
never
from.
expect to happen is happening,
Oh
right?
my
Like
God.
just wow. Yeah.
Just a podcast with him and Emilo.
Oh yeah.
Him and Emilio will just.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful like.
I
you
lived
can
with
do it.
Emilio like for a while. That shit was crazy.
That was crazy. That's a good way to put it.
I got called for a fight at 3 a.m. I was sleeping. It's like, yo, head to the airport. It's like, Emilio, we don't have money, dog. It's like we start coming up with whatever coins we have, and then I fucking packed my my groin protection and my mouthpiece, fight shorts. Let's go. Crazy shit.
Yeah, man. I tell you, like, I think you should never talk about your stories anymore, and just keep it to yourself.
We're saving them.
Save it to, and I'll help you. Like,
I
get
need
it
to
done.
write a book.
You should write a book.
Definitely write a book.
What language?
It's like what language? It's like 5 different languages.
Yeah.
Like you wrote it all.
Skips around.
Yeah.
Nobody can
Chapter
read it.
1. This language.
Yeah.
Back to UFC 300. But for real, who could like? I mean, that's a massive number. So like the UFC must be like, what can we do?
They're scrambling
because that's massive. I mean, like really, name the 5 biggest superstars, and if they're not available,
They need Conor and Izzy on the same pay-per-view. They've never done that before.
Never.
They need that.
That's true.
Yeah.
If they could get both those guys at the same time, that's
I bet they're working on it.
I think they're struggling with super or mega stars because like they messed up on the Saudi card because they couldn't come up with a big name.
Yeah.
Saudi told them, hey, we paid 20 million. What's up?
20 million
for one event or like 2 events. I don't know.
For that's Saudi money. That's like
money, baby.
I don't know. That's
money's money.
Yeah.
20 mil,
I mean, I'm
right?
curious. It's a funny like actually thing to think about, like what superstars are. Like a lot of people lost last year.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost.
Yeah.
Well, they're not recycling. They're not turning over the superstars as fast anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? Because you don't have that mega star. You know what I mean? When Conor was fighting and being that mega star, the UFC was a different beast.
Sure.
Exactly,
right?
yes.
And right now, Izzy is doing it, but he's kind of like on the back end of it now. Right?
Yeah, he's
kind of like on the back end, you know, like he's not, it seems like he's, you know, like he's reached it multiple times now, like the belt, you know what I mean? Like he's done pretty much everything he's wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right? Now he's just fighting for legacy, like for paychecks, you know what I mean? Basically, those are the 2 types of things, unless he's chasing the belt again, but I don't think I don't think he cares about the belt.
Like, yeah, he made so much money. He's been like a champion for a while, defended it for a while. Like he's at the top of the list in defending the belt, being a champion, net worth, and I don't know, what do you fight for anymore?
He avenged his Pereira loss,
and that too.
He would have to avenge a Strickland loss or Dricus.
You know what he fights for? Racism.
Well, that story, the African thing, that's like the story, you know, which.
That's the story. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what they're gonna push. You think the UFC is gonna be like, we're gonna take the moral high ground and not promote them? No, they're gonna play that shit over and over.
100%.
Izzy in his face in the ring in the middle, just
and that's why they let it slide inside the cage, on like under the main spotlight. It's like Izzy brought it up. I was like, yeah.
Even when Sean Strickland fought Dricus in the crowd, that just didn't.
And
that was
they
weird.
pumped that.
They pumped.
That's like a assault. That's like you can do that.
Yeah.
But isn't that funny? Didn't he tell like what was it like Gilbert Burns' like kid to move out of the way or something?
Yeah.
Excuse me. He just like jumped over there.
Yeah, that was weird, man.
Hey, it's so funny. Like it is funny to think about like the sport and like we're talking at business and everything, but like it's fighting at the end of the day, and like we get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like
they do. You do.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
We all kind of exactly. They're like, man, like in any other like industry or sport, like some of the shit we'd say, like I don't know, I think you get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, like you're right. Like you cannot just like have altercations like that, and it just becomes like nothing.
Way.
Yeah,
only with like Colby, right? Like he'll.
Colby is washed up now after that last fight.
That was crazy.
Yeah, what was up with that? You know what
I mean? I think he's like even. He was reaching that mega star type of position, but because of last fight, I feel he lost everything.
He did. It was his last.
Like he
chance.
burned his last card.
Yeah.
Done.
And then he thought he won after that fight. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, like the UFC, to me, the UFC really wanted Colby Covington to be the champ.
They wanted it because like he has the mouth, he sells tickets, he makes people hate him and want to watch him lose, but
and he's political too. I think that's what they like, because he could go on the political side, go on like CNN or some shit, and pump the UFC, because UFC doesn't care how it gets in front of people. It gets in front of people, right?
Sure.
So it's a huge machine, man. What about Vince McMahon? Did you hear about Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
Yo, like
I don't know.
they merged, and then Vince McMahon is like, he's gone.
I haven't heard. What's that?
Vince McMahon is the guy that runs the other side, right?
Oh,
they merged with WWE, right?
Oh, the TKO.
TKO, right?
Yeah, he's like super. He was like the Dana White of WWE. He's massive, but
on steroids, right?
But he just got accused of
all kinds of crazy shit,
some stuff,
sexual shit.
Yeah. Well,
he had to resign.
Everything now is surfacing after this Epstein shit.
Yeah.
I heard I watched like this little clip from the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday with Eddie Bravo, and he was like, the whole world is happening because of Epstein, like and he was like these like high profile like officials would rather World War III start than be outed for like being a pedophile, and it's kind of true.
Well, that's what's happening.
The world is
right
a trip, man.
People are distracted.
It's just weird, man. Just everything that's going on. Joe Biden, like, look at that guy. He's like, he's like that guy on The Simpsons.
100%.
What's that guy?
Yeah, but that was the problem. Was like Burns.
Mr. Burns. He's Mr. Burns. Like,
it's so funny. No, but people hated Trump so much that they just wanted the exact opposite, which is not better, So
and then now they hate Biden so much. Like
Trump get reelected.
You got black people supporting Trump.
Trump will probably.
That's how far it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And
And now Texas wants to be independent.
They want. Texas has been its own place for a while.
Yeah. Texas will kill you.
Yeah, fighting unites. I'm still curious about these superstars. Like, who would they put?
Yeah,
I am really. It's really interesting. I didn't think about it.
To me, like the best case scenario, and that would be kind of like shocking. Not really shocking, but something that would entice me to buy the pay-per-view is Izzy fights Dricus for the title, because I want to see them fight. Sure. I want to see who wins that, because I think Dricus has a really good style. Like, it might not be the prettiest, but it's effective.
Yeah.
And I want to see how Izzy kind of maneuvers around that, because he's gonna go straight at Izzy. And then
Dricus is getting more composed, actually. In that Strickland fight, he was still composed for all 5 rounds.
But the thing is, like, Strickland kind of did that style, right, where he just went at Izzy and just pushed the pressure.
That fight from Izzy, it was weird.
It was a weird fight.
Like Izzy knows how to fight on the back foot.
Yeah.
So like
he fought a guy with a Philly shell before. It's not like who knows?
It just seemed like it didn't click. Like,
yes.
It
was not there.
Yeah. It's just like he was like,
or he didn't take him seriously.
Yeah, it was like it was almost like he was just like, man, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get fucked up, so it's just like, let me just fight.
It's a hard sport, bro.
Especially keeping motivated and he's fighting 5-round fights. Back, like, how many fights has he had?
For
5 rounds.
So long.
They just said when the Dricus Strickland fight, that was the first middleweight fight in 6 years that didn't have Izzy in it, which it's just crazy how time goes on. Yeah. That's a long time.
In that 6 years, man,
it's a super long time.
He's taken a full advantage of everything, and it's just gonna last forever for him now. It's just he just did it right,
Ooh, what about maybe Ronda Rousey comes back?
Yeah, but she's old as shit.
I was gonna say, what if she comes back with 300?
She's an old mama now.
Yeah, she's.
But that was just the example of like lose. Well, just lose and not really do it the right way.
Yeah. She's making so much money in the WWE. Like she will find it so hard to get motivated to get on the grind.
No, she should
back
do it. She shouldn't.
And then having the possibility of having someone way better than her, way younger than her, beating her in the UFC. I don't think.
Here's one. What about Jake Paul?
He signed a PFL.
Oh, he did. Yeah, you're right. I was gonna say, because man, that would be like a big curveball.
You see what's happening with Jake Paul now?
No.
Like his event that he had, that last boxing event, is being investigated for fight fixing.
For his fight specifically?
No, just the event. So nobody knows exactly
whatever is it. MVP Promotions, whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess forgot he is back in PFL, but that would be like a shocking thing that the UFC could do, which is kind of crazy, right?
Well,
imagine
Kevin Harrison was pretty Like I was
Oh,
surprised
Kayla Harrison's fighting.
when she signed with the UFC. I was like, whoa.
Nah, she wanted to be in the UFC, I think.
She is.
But that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. She wanted to be. But isn't that like a not sad thing of MMA? But we're like, man, who are the superstars? You know what? I bet if they put Jake Paul, that would get people to watch. But it would, right?
Yeah, it would.
Jake Paul versus Nick Diaz.
Oh yeah. They're also talking about they're working on Nate Diaz versus Conor 3.
Oh, I heard that too.
Yeah, they're working on that.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's like good, but is it kind of past like the hype? You know,
It passed the hype.
I think people are
it
getting
is
tired.
past the hype,
I mean,
yeah.
like the Conor stuff is like, I mean, all respect
And
everything. He
also like Conor fighting Chandler. Chandler kind of boring to me. Like he tries to sell,
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't find it. I didn't find him like, okay, if he's fighting on the card, I want to watch it. In the beginning, when he moved from Bellator to the UFC, I was like, yeah, let me see what he's capable of. But like, well, he wasn't delivering as what I was expecting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fights have been crazy though. His fights.
Yeah, he's had
He's
great
not
fights.
really like
Him and Dustin was a good fight.
This is the way I look at Michael Chandler. He's like the Tom Cruise of MMA, right? He's like he can go on like I think that's why the UFC likes him because he's like an all-American kind of guy, you know, like he's the guy next door mowing your lawn and be like, "Hey neighbor," like that's Michael Chandler.
He adopted a kid.
Yeah, like he'd be driving his kids.
He's like the nicest dude.
Yeah,
ever.
he'd be driving his kids to fucking Sunday school or something. I don't know. Like he can go on Oprah and do an interview and people would watch it and be like, "Yeah, imagine a UFC champ on Oprah." Like that's what they probably envisioned for Michael Chandler. But it just never happened because his fighting style is just too risky, right?
It is so risky. He gets too much damage to get a win.
Crazy damage.
Yeah.
But you know, I think Conor needs to be on 300 because 300 is still in April, right? It's still some time left, and Conor's in shape. Like when you see him now, he's in shape. Like he's training. He was training with Brendan and John Boy and all that, right? So like he's training. You know, just getting past the screenings and stuff, right? That's the question. Like, can you get past those screenings? And I think the UFC is working that out right now with Conor. I think they're going to figure it out real soon, and they're going to bring him back. And
he wants to fight. They want to bring him on, and I think all this drama about the drug testing and stuff, it is because of
Conor.
They can't, not just Conor, but they can't maneuver around mega stars and just get fights ruined because of picogram or whatever.
True. You're right. Because there was always a possibility of a mistake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They're losing so much money, like, and everyone does something stupid.
What if he just announced like Justin Bieber's fighting somebody? Like, I would laugh, dude. Well, I'd be like, the UFC is a fucking joke.
They've done it with the CM Punk.
Yeah, but I mean, again, can you imagine though? Like UFC 300 is a massive thing, right? It's as big. UFC is as big as it's ever been. 300 is a huge number. They must be really scrambling to like find out who can fill this card. Yeah. Who else was on 200? It was
Shimaya.
Amanda Nunes.
Hamzat
no,
could be.
No.
No?
Well, Hamzat could be on this one. Yeah.
Who was on 200? Anderson and DC.
I think Amanda Nunes versus Misha Tate versus Amanda Nunes, Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt, DC, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, Cain Velasquez, Travis Brown.
All the OGs that retired.
Crazy fight. I remember, you know what I hated about that? Remember they did that yellow canvas? Remember that?
Yeah, it looked like piss.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
How did they do that?
So bad.
They looked at it and was like, "Yeah, let's do that."
Well, that was Monster Energy.
It was very hard to watch.
You know Monster Energy drink, right? You know.
Plus the cage looked so tiny with the yellow canvas.
Yeah.
You think they'll do a different canvas this time? Black?
Yeah,
that black's like cool. Black and gold or something.
Shit.
Pink?
Doo-doo brown.
Bang towel color. Doo-doo brown. Where is it? Where is Vegas?
Yeah, I think Vegas.
Islam? Who would Islam fight? No.
Islam, they say he's not coming back until like summer.
He did.
Yeah, I think for the Daggies and all these Muslim fighters, they keep them for the
Ramadan. They got to.
Yeah, they keep them for the Middle East. Now they signed a deal with Saudi and Saudi.
When's Ramadan? March?
Maybe
that's why he don't want to do it.
So everybody's trying to fight before March.
He said he wants to fight before March, but I don't think they can